a healthy conversation because, when we test to see if we do. I had a student, yes, I don't know what I did with them. They are graded. They are in the grade book. I don't know where they're at. I'm sorry. But I have your tests here. But I will get them back to you. There's a couple people who still need to take it. But we'll get there. But I plan on, by Monday, I would hope that I can hand these back to you. We'll go over them real quick. And then you have to hand it back. But I apologize. I don't know where those first quizzes are. I don't know. I swear. They were on my desk. I put them in the grade book. And someone stole them. So I just want to give you just a feel for, one, I felt this test went very well. I made it out of 74 points. Why is that? Well, because it's harder to take the average of 74 than out of 100. I'm just kidding. So just, without naming names, I'm just going to say, scores are 38, and this is out of 74. 38, 62, 57, 69, 58, 52, 38, 65, 64, 67, 69. Again, it's not 74, so 58, 63, 56, 66, 59, 73 out of 74, bless you, 62, 66, 48, 57, 61, 48, 70, 57, 52, I'll probably skip one there, 44, 59, 65, 67, 56, 65. When I look at the average score out of 74 points, 65. I got a calculator out real quick. 65 divided by 74 is... It's a race.
87.
Good test. I didn't read every one of them. I had two 74 out of 74s. There was 3 of them that were 73s. I mean, you guys are great test takers, so congratulations. So questions that have come up. So, and this is just how should you think about it. I had a student say to me yesterday, can I have more time? I didn't study hard. I didn't study the right stuff. So what'd you study? Well, I didn't study at all. No. One, I'm not going to allow you to look at a test and say, oh, that's what I was supposed to study. That doesn't work. As far as extra time goes, it's really not the policy of the school for extra time. Now, I need to put a little addendum on that. Sometimes a situation happens. Somebody might have gotten called out of class and might need extra time because they were gone for 20 minutes talking to their dean or something. I'm squeaking. I'm going through puberty. I'm sorry. So there's different scenarios. I mean, so the broad band picture, the umbrella is extra time, no. Occasionally there's little routines that not the 100% of the population needs to know about because there are things that are beyond everyone's control that do take place. And so that's really where we're at with time. So if you've ever missed a test, you're expected to take it upon when you return during one of your off periods. And, if your off period's like next period or if your off period's during second period when I'm in class, it's okay that you take tests. I can put you across the hallway in an office that's quiet where you don't have to listen to me talk. So those are just some things that are taking place. Now, if you miss a test and you had like a week and a half gone, I'm not going to be that person saying, no, you got to make it up now. But other things that you just need to know that are available for you, and I think a lot of parents really appreciate this, and I think students really do as well, is I have everything recorded, so the excuse of, well, I didn't know what I missed, shouldn't be a conversation that's taking place here. You know, I get it in other classes. Hey, I didn't know what I was missing. I looked at the syllabus and said 3.1. I missed that. I don't know what that was. Okay, but I've recorded everything, so it's available for you on YouTube. And I get it. You're going to get this, situation. I don't believe in YouTube. There's really not much I can do that. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to take away from beliefs or anything like that, but sometimes when you get an excuse after an excuse after an excuse after an excuse, as a teacher, kind of look at it and say, I'm going to call timeout on this one because there's not much more I could do. I was told by a parent last night that their child who had been sick for a couple days, they came in and said, why are you watching YouTube videos when you should be studying? And I said, well, this is my math teacher, and there's the lesson. And the parent thought it was the coolest thing in the world. So if that student happens to be here, thank you so much for selling watching YouTube videos to mom and dad. Maybe your dad. Might did. I don't remember. Yesterday was a blur. Please understand, I got here at 4:45 in the morning, and then I had my med class, and then all the other classes, and I left at 9 o'clock last night. It was a long day. Now, don't feel too bad for me because I was able to walk off campus, went over to the little Chinese restaurant over there, got a little food, went over to the stadium. My daughter plays for Arapahoe High School on the field hockeys on their JV thing, so I was able to watch a little bit of her playing Grandview. They got slaughtered, but hey, they had fun. That's the name of the game, right? Anytime you're on a losing team, as long as you had fun, that's fine, because everyone deserves a ribbon. I'm sorry if you're that person that feels that way. I shouldn't be that. Yeah. The soccer team I've coached for the past 6 years, the parents are always, let's get the kids trophies. No. Oh, but they would love it. No. So I've always been the one, you watch these kids who walk across the parking lot with a 5-foot trophy. Look at this. What'd you get that for? I played soccer. How'd you do? We lost every game. Oh my gosh.
But what if they win?
Hey, I always tell the kids, if you have a winning season, we'll go get ice cream. That's always a win for me. But I'm not the proponent of everyone needs, I want everyone to feel special, but let's face it. What is second place? It's the first loser. I mean, it's just that easy. You go, really, I'm starting to feel bad about myself now. Don't feel bad about yourself because I love you to death. But, things that I've realized in life. I'm not going to be a doctor even though that I teach the med class. Why is that? I wasn't smart enough. I did want to be an orthodontist at one point in my life, and that ranged from about 7th grade to about 11th grade, because that's when I had braces on, and my orthodontist drove a cool car. And that was my only justification of why I wanted to be an orthodontist. Could I have been an orthodontist? I don't know. I have a hard enough time, when going to the dentist and having to scrape my teeth, thinking I would like to pick people's teeth with metal objects. When I eat, if people are the teeth taker offer of the fork with their teeth, they go, like, why is your husband putting earplugs in? It's bad conversation. You go with your fork. I'm sorry. I'm on test. I'm way too tired. We're going to the cadaver lab today with 17 of our kids, and I hope they don't cut into me because I'll be the one sleeping in the corner. Oh, look, here's a fresh one. I love her. All right, but all seriousness, I'm done with that. All right, so got your reviews. These are some notes, pretty short. The neat thing about today, you're probably going to get done with whatever was assigned. Even though I told parents last night, if your kid comes home and says they don't have homework, they might be fibbing. It's on recorded now. It's about 9 minutes in. I'm saying you might not have homework tonight because you might get it done in class. So, mom and dad say, your teacher said, go to 9 minutes, 37 seconds on the video, and it'll be me saying, we probably will get done in class what you would have had for homework. So if you don't have homework this weekend, good for you, at least for math. Can't speak for other classes. Cool? So my goal for today is I want to go through these definitions. I then want to go over anything on the construction, maybe like one or two constructions, make sure you feel okay about it. But that's what I have for today, and then kind of go off. Okay, so for accelerated geometry, CP, this is section 1.1 notes. Some of it's just discussion, some of it's not. It says assumptions from diagrams, drawings, or pictures. Okay, so if something's given to you, there's some things that you should assume, and it's not always good to assume because, you know, if you assume, you make it an ass out of you and me, and that's how we spell assume. I'm just saying. But lines and angles are straight. So anytime you see a line drawn, even if it's a bad depiction of it, it should be known that it's a straight line. An angle should also have some sort of, you know, straight lines. It shouldn't be like, oh, that's a weird, goofy angled angle. Okay? And then the relative position of points. So if you have something drawn, I don't know, it looks horrible. That point's really there. Okay, or this point should be really here, this point really here. If we have this and have this like labeled A, you should realize that's probably point A right there. You can't have just a singleton ladder saying, hey, look at this line when you have multiple lines. Now I could say line A exists, and that's just some line that we said, hey, that's line A. Okay? How many points should you have defining a line? 2. You can have them backwards and forwards. So you have 2 different points. Let's call them X and Y. Line XY is the same as line YX. Line segment XY is also the same line segment as YX, except in this scenario. All 3 of those lines are collinear, meaning they follow on the same line. So with me in this adventure. So, if I write this, am I talking about a line or am I talking about a line segment?
Line segment.
Line segment. So a line segment starts and stops. Do you agree? So line segment, this would be congruent to me saying this. Okay, same endpoints. They mean the exact same thing. These are not congruent or equal to each other if I did this. Why can I say that? So we're talking about line segment. Why can I say that they're not congruent or not equal? Yeah. They're different lengths. Exactly right. But here's where things get a little goofy. If I said line segment XY, or line XY, this means it extends forever both directions. This is indeed congruent to line segment X, or line XZ. So even though this just incorporates this region here, and the second one goes from here to here, being you're talking about a line goes infinite both directions, they mean the same thing. But as far as line segments go, these happen to be different lengths from each other, so you can't say that they're equivalent even though they're naming the same line. Okay? Yeah.
So, if you had like line segment, like X, Y, could that be equal to like ZX or?
Line segment or line?
Line segment.
Line segment means it starts and stops. So line segment, so this right here refers to this region right here.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's bound by that region. Okay. And then if I come up here, if I wanted to talk about this, that's this, which is longer. So the green is a longer portion. It's not equivalent because you're talking about a distance.
Okay.
Okay, this is referring to the line, it's going forever that way and that way, or whatever directions it's pointing. So because this line is going forever both directions, these three collinear points, you use any 2 of them you want to name that entire line, and it's completely right. The line segment gets goofy because line segments are start and stop points.
Yeah.
Okay? Let's see. Things that you shouldn't know, or you shouldn't assume. Angles are congruent. If there's 2 angles that are drawn and they look close, if you had this drawn and this drawn, you should not say, oh, they're the same angle. They're the same measurement. Unless they tell you. Because this might be angle A, and this might be angle B, and we don't know that angle A is congruent to angle B. We don't know unless they tell us. So don't say, oh, there's two angles, they must be the same. It's the same angle. So those are, you can't go to it right away saying it's got to be true. Segments are congruent. Okay? If you had two different segments drawn, and they call this AB and this CD, and even if they do appear to be the same length, even if you've measured them saying they are the same length, unless they've defined for you, because the measuring portion of your ruler, honestly, the straight edge that we give you in here should not have a ruler. It should be just a straight edge. It should be a ruler that we've eliminated the number counting on it. Okay? So the only real way to determine right now if a line segment is congruent is if you take your compass and you open it up and if you come and you put your pointy end on one side, and if you do this, and then you measure this, and you'll see that they're off a little bit. That's the only way in geometry is by using the compass as a tool to say these two line segments are equal or congruent that you can do. You can't say, oh, they look about the same, therefore they must be. Please don't. It's going to catch up with you. Okay, so the compass is really, unless we tell you that these two line segments are equivalent, or I put a measure on each one saying line segment AB is 10 centimeters, line segment CD is also 10 centimeters. Now you can say they're congruent because you know they've told you that they are, but if they haven't told you, don't assume that they will be. Angles are right angles. If you have something that appears to look like, you can't just say, oh, that's a right angle. Even though it looks like, don't say it, please. Okay, unless they specifically tell you that there's a right angle, or if you have this. If you have a singleton right angle, that means this one, and this one are right angles. They might also put it like this, or they might just have the singleton. That's the only way that you determine the right angles, or they tell you that the two lines are perpendicular to each other if that's something that's given to you. Okay, there's certain rules that you have to put in place because we want to be able to build a mathematical argument to say this is happening or this isn't happening. The relative size of segments and angles, again, the compass is going to be what's your tool for this. Yes, you do have a protractor. You can, for the most part, trust a protractor probably 90% of the time, and I want to reserve 10% for saying and don't worry, I'll tell you the We good? Solid? Happy? Anyone upset? Anything bugging you right now? Yeah, you are, dude. All right. Is anybody in here going to the cadaver lab with us? You want to come? It's pretty cool. I'll let you hold a brain. Real one. Okay, so worksheet 1.1, it's looks like 18 total questions. Okay, so number one says the measure of AB is equals the measure of CD. And it says use the diagram to help determine which of the following conclusions are allowed to be made. So you're just, on a lot of these, you see either saying yes or no, or true or false, or somehow indicating those are taking place. At the end, it does have the answers, but if you look at the answer and you're like, wait, time out. That answer, why is that answer no? Because I think it's this. Ask me. So I want you to take the opportunity now, okay, now to work on worksheet 1.1. And it looks like it's numbers 1 through 18, which, of course, the dirty, rotten scoundrel move of that is number 1 has A through E, 2 has A through F, 3 has A through E, and then it goes 4 through 18 without any more like that. Cool? We good? Everyone understand what I want you to do for the rest of the period? Just me in free time, sit around, laugh at each other, put backpacks down, line up by the door? Okay, some people it does.